Okay, so in this lecture what we're going to look at is how Java performs basic calculations. And we've already looked at some basic calculations in some previous lectures. We've already seen that the assignment operator allows us to set a value into a particular instance variable. We've already looked at the increment operator, which allows us to increase an integer variable by 1. And we've already looked at the decrement operator, which allows us to decrease an integer variable by 1. But there are others. We're going to look at the standard ones that are used on integer data. So we've already got experience of probably 4 of the standard ones that you've probably seen in other programming languages. So we've got addition and subtraction and multiplication, which are more or less what you've seen before. Division, you've probably seen before as well, with the use of the / sign. But when you perform Java division using this symbol, integer division will ignore any decimal places from the calculation. On the opposite hand, we also have something called the quotient, which allows us to perform integer division, but instead of returning the whole number part, it will actually return the remainder. And later on we're actually going to look at some examples of that in use. So in terms of expressions, we basically create simple expressions by using instance variables or data, or a mix of instance variables or data, and we perform calculations using mathematical expressions. Some of them can be very, very simple, like this one, where the value of m value, we add 10 onto it, and then we put the value back into itself. Or we could look at something like this one, which is a little bit more complex, where we multiply the value of m value 2 by 3, add on the value of m value 1 to it, and then put the result of that calculation into m total. Just like other languages, we use brackets to make our meaning clear, but also give priority to certain elements of the calculation. For example, with this one, we will perform this part of the calculation first, which will multiply m value 2 by 3, and then add that result onto m value 1. So we're going to look at a little case study, and it's going to go around the function of a basic vending machine. This vending machine's only got 2 types of items in it, which are crisps and chocolate bars. And what we're going to do is just write a simple class which will allow us to model the function of a vending machine. So again, one of these little questions, give yourself a couple of minutes, pause the video, and have a go at thinking about what type of instance variables or member variables and methods are going to be needed as part of this particular class. And this is the UML that I've come up with. This is the one that's going to have an example built for it. And we've got our vending machine class. It only has 2 instance variables, which are mnum crisps and mnum chocolate bars. And then we're going to have methods for fill crisps to add crisps to the machine, fill chocolate bars, which will add a box of chocolate bars to the machine, and then we've got methods for someone coming along buying a packet of crisp and someone coming along buying a chocolate bar. And at any one time we can call view quantities so that we can see what we've got left in the machine. So it's a bit of an exercise. Again, have a go at pausing the video. Following methods are similar to those written for our car park and window cleaner class that we've done in the past. We've got buy crisps, buy chocolate bar, and view quantities, and they have a direct effect on the values of the instance variables mnum crisps and mnum chocolate bars. So again, pause the video and have a go just on a bit of paper of writing the Java code for those 3 methods. And as usual, we're going to use the user class. In this particular case, the viewQuantities method will allow us to output messages to the user. And we've already seen it in the window cleaner class, and we need to be able to add it to our project as well. So again, it's the same principle. We say edit, add class from file. Go and find the file user.java. You can either download it from the VLE or use it from one of your previous projects. And then if you restart the project, the user class appears in your class diagram. So what we're going to do is just have a quick look at each of the methods and see how they work, and then we'll run a bit of a demo. So in the first instance, we're going to look at filling the machine up. We could, if we wanted to, fill the machine up a packet of crisp at the time or a chocolate bar at a time, which is sensible but a bit inefficient. Most vending machines get filled up with large boxes, so we're going to do it sort of 10 items at a time. So in terms of expressions, what we're going to do is we're going to fill it with crisps and fill it with chocolate bars using those 2 expressions. So let the value of mnum crisps be the value of mnum crisps plus 10. So we're going to fill it 10 packets at a time. And the same goes for the chocolate bars, where the value of mnum chocolate bars is equal to mnum chocolate bars plus 10. So we're actually putting a full box straight into the machine, and there's 10 in each box. There are the methods. There's fill crisps, and all we're doing is adding 10 onto the value of the instance variable mnum crisps. And the fill chocolate bars, we're just adding 10 onto the instance variable for mnum chocolate bars. And it's at this point I'm going to introduce a new type of class template called CSE 101 empty. If it's not available in BlueJ directly, I will make it available on the network machines. It's basically a small empty template class that you can pick, which has some sort of placeholders ready for things like instance variables and methods and constructors. You don't have to use it. It is slightly easier to use than the standard class selector, but it's a little bit easy to fathom things out, and it gives you a bit more room to put your own things in, and it saves you deleting a lot of stuff that some of the other templates have in there. So you have a section at the top for your name and your version. You can put some general information about the class in general. There's a space for constants, which we've not done yet, but we will do eventually. Your instance variables can go in this section. Your constructor will be predetermined as part of the template. It just takes the name from the class at the top and it fills that for you. And there's a space at the bottom for your methods. Okay, so let's have a look at our first instance, or our first go at the vending machine class. Okay, so I've downloaded the vending machine program from the VLE, and I've opened it already in BlueJ. The user class has already been included, so we'll just have a quick look at the code in the editor first, and we'll just look at the construction. So we've got a header at the top with some author and version details. We've got the vending machine class, which has already been preset, and so we've got the 2 instance variables for the number of crisps in the machine and the number of chocolate bars in the machine. We've also got in the constructor the code which will allow us to initialize the machine as empty. There are no crisps in the machine and no chocolate bars in the machine, so we can go straight on and have a look at each of the methods. So in the fill crisps method, we're adding a full box of crisps into the machine. Each box has got 10 packets in it, so we will add 10 onto the value of num crisps. Same applies for when we fill it with chocolate bars, in that a box of chocolate bars has got 10 in it. So what we're going to do is put 10 onto the value of chocolate bars when we fill it. And then we've got the ability for someone to come along and buy a bag of crisps from the machine, in which case we just knock it down by 1, just use minus minus on num crisps. And if somebody comes and buys a chocolate bar from the machine, we just knock the number of chocolate bars down by 1 there. The only thing that's slightly different, obviously we've got the user class which has been put into place, and we just use a user.message to output a message. The vending machine contains the value of num crisps, packets of crisps, and num chocolate bars, number of chocolate bars. Okay, just give that a quick compile, and yeah, it's been compiled and there's no errors with it. So we'll give it a quick test. We'll create a new vending machine and we'll inspect it. So straight away we can see that the machine's empty, there's nothing in it, so we can't buy anything until we put some stuff in it. So we're going to call the method to fill it with chocolate bars, and we've got 10 chocolate bars in there, and then we'll fill it with crisps, and there's 10 packets of crisps in there as well. What we'll do then is someone will come along and buy a chocolate bar, and it goes from 10 to 9, and we'll buy a packet of crisps, and that goes from 10 to 9, and we'll buy another one, that drops down to 8. When we call the view quantities method, we get a message which basically said that the vending machine has got 8 packets of crisps in it, which it has, and 9 chocolate bars, which we know he's got as well. Okay, so that's a basic vending machine functionality. Certainly keeps track of how many packets of crisps and how many chocolate bars are in the machine, but people are putting money in this machine and we're not keeping track of how much money we're making or losing. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend the specification of our vending machine class, and we're going to extend it so that we can keep track of the money that we're actually making on this thing. So let's make the assumption then that when we buy a box of crisps to fill the machine, we spend £2. All right, so we're looking at £2, and that comes to, for a packet of 10 in each box, that costs us then about 20 pence for every pack. Let's say then that a box of 10 chocolate bars costs us £1.50, in which case that's about 15 pence for every chocolate bar that we buy it for. We are effectively using the money that's in the machine to actually buy the crisps and the chocolate, which is a little bit silly at the beginning, because we're not actually, with an empty machine, we're actually using money we don't have in the machine. It'll give us a negative balance, in fact. But in order to make that up, what we're going to be doing is selling at a packet of crisps at 40 pence per pack. So we're actually selling it at twice the price that we bought it for, as we will with chocolate bars, because we're selling those at 30 pence per pack, whereas we're buying them at 15p per bar. And when we detect that an item has been bought, we're actually going to add the price paid onto a total profit. So what we've got now is a slightly amended class diagram from the one that you first saw. We've got an instance variable which is going to keep a track of how much profit the machine's making, And we're going to have a method that we can call to see how much profit has been currently made by the machine so far. So what we're going to do is we have to add a new instance variable called mProfit, and we're going to initialize it to 0 in the constructor. So it's going to look like that. We're going to modify some of the methods so that we take the cost of filling the machine off from our profit. So if you have a look at the fill crisps method here, we add 10 packets of crisps to the machine, but because we've spent £2 on that box of crisps, we're actually going to remove £2 from our overall profit. And when we buy or when somebody buys a bag of crisps, we add that profit back on to our machine. So what happens is that somebody buys a packet of crisps, we take one out of the machine, and then we add 40p onto our total profit. We bought at 20p, we're selling at 40. So hopefully we're going to make some quite good profit on this one. So again, based on what we've seen in the past and some of the past slides, we know a box of chocolate bars costs £1.50. A single chocolate bar gets sold at 30. So from the changes you've already seen, what will we have to do to our fill chocolate bar method and our buy chocolate bar method in order to make the appropriate changes to incorporate our profit? Okay, if you want to, pause the video, have a quick go, and then come back. And to finish off, we have our method to view the profit. Again, we'll use the user class again. It's already in the project because we use it for view quantities, but we can use user.message and we can say that the vending machine has made the value of mProfit pence profit. And we'll have a look at that updated program right now. Okay, so I've downloaded the vending machine 2 class program from VLE. I've already got it open. It's more or less exactly the same as the vending machine 1 class, only the new functionality for calculating profit has been included. So let's have a quick look at the code in the code editor. And as you can see, we've got our class definition and we've got our 3 instance variables. So we've got one for number of crisps in the machine, one for number of chocolate bars in the machine, and one now to keep track of the profit that the machine's making. In our constructor, we initialize each of those 3 variables to 0 because it's a brand new machine, nothing in it, no money in it. And for our methods, when we fill the machine with a box of 10 packets of crisps, we add 10 to the machine ready for selling, and we bought a packet of 10 crisps at £2, which is effectively 20p per bag. We have to take that money from the profit that we make on the machine, so we remove or we take away 200 from our machine's profit. Same applies when we fill it with chocolate bars. There's 10 chocolate bars in a box. We bought the box at £1.50 or 15p per bar, so we add 10 onto the number of chocolate bars in the machine, and we take £1.50 or 150p from the profit that's in the machine, because we've had to use that in order to buy the box. Someone comes along and buys a bag of crisps, they will buy it at twice the amount that we pay for them. So we paid for them at 20p per bag, we will sell it at 40p a bag. So we remove 1 packet of crisps from the machine and we add 40p onto the profit that we make from that sale. In the same vein, If somebody buys a chocolate bar, we remove a chocolate bar from the machine. We bought chocolate bars at 15p each, but we sell them at 30p each. So we add 30p profit from the sale of that chocolate bar. We haven't altered view quantities. It will still output how much or how many packets of crisps and how many chocolate bars are in the machine. But our new method, view profit, will display how much money is actually in the machine in the form of our profit variable. So we'll give it a quick compile. No errors. And we'll just create a vending machine instance and inspect it. And we'll just see what happens when we run some methods. First of all, we're going to fill it with chocolate bars. And straight away we've got 10 chocolate bars, but 10 chocolate bars cost us £1.50. So straight away our profits are negative. Let's fill it with crisps. And again, 10 packets of crisps go in the machine, but we bought them at 20p each. That's £2. So that's another £2 profit that's been taken from our machine. So when we buy a packet of crisps, gets removed from the machine, and we sold a packet of crisps at twice what we paid for. So we paid 20p, but we sold it at 40p. So our profit's gone from -350 to -310. Much the same way, chocolate bars. If we buy a chocolate bar, that goes down by 1. We bought chocolate bars at 15p each, but we sold them at 30p each. So our profit has been adjusted in order to accommodate that. If we call view profit, it shows us how much money our vending machine has currently taken. And if we call view quantities, it tells us how many packets of crisps and chocolate bars are in our machine. We'll close that, remove that instance, and then we can close the project. Okay, just to summarise everything then. Look at some of the mathematical operators that we've looked at over this lecture. Some of them we've seen before, some of them we're going to look at in more detail in other lectures, but we've looked at the addition and incrementer operators. We've looked at subtraction and decrementer operators. We've looked at multiplication, division, ignoring decimal places. We've looked at quotient or remainder after division, where we use the percent sign. Not touched on these, but we will look at those in the future. We've looked at combining operators and data with mathematical expressions. We've looked at how we've used instance variables along with numeric values to create mathematical expressions. And we very quickly looked at the CSE 101 template, which we can use for creating classes. It's a lot cleaner. I do suggest if you're going to use it, then make a habit of using it, because it's quite an easy one to pick up and to use.